Okay, guys, here we are. Everything looks good. The first game. Oh, this is mega random. I got so confused. I genuinely thought this was migration or islands or something at first glance, and I had to check. I was like, the first game has to be mega random. What have they screwed up? Okay, so let me regain my composure. Vinchester is here in the purple or magenta. He's playing as the Saracens. Game 1 is mega random. In the blue, playing as the Saracens as well, is Fire. And this looks an awful lot like migration, and I was really confused. I was like, why did they choose migration? Now, this is actually a little bit different than migration. There's more deer to lure in, but the rest of it seems the same. You will actually see that the stone and gold on the main island there's a lot less. You can see there's a lot of deep fish around the main islands, which is really important. You want to get the fishing out as soon as possible. The one interesting factor to this is that players don't know this is migration. They don't know that there's a large mainland here because this is mega random, and mega random can do anything. So that could affect their build orders. Normally in migration, you'll see players go for a heavy fish boom. Who is the better player here? Well, on water, you have to favor Fire. However, I don't know how his migration play is. Vinchester, I think, is as good or better on land. On Arabia, anyway. And that's why there are 4 different maps for each game. And it's very exciting. But anyway, I think I talked about the deer. Let's talk about the mainland, because I only see 3 piles of gold on the mainland. I do see a few relics. But there's not a lot here. So, you know, more deer than standard migration, less resources in the middle than standard migration, and I would say more hills too. Can players see mainland with the scouts? No, they cannot see that. Fire also cannot see that. I assume they're going to play this migration style just because of the way the map is laid out, but you never know what the players will do. Saracens are, of course, a good civilization all around, especially when it's team random. Each player gets the same bonus. But yeah, this is definitely going to be exciting, and I think this is very important for Vinchester. Very important for Vinchester. He didn't even get a point versus Viper. He needs to get a good result here, a couple good results, and he needs to carry some points over if he wants to advance. Now, Fire as well, you know, looking for wins, but Vinchester, I think, is going to be desperate for some points. And Vinchester, it's a Castle Age start, so he's going for a TC here instead of a dock. That's an interesting decision. I want to see what Fire chooses to do. Fire choosing to go for the dock and the fishing ship, which means he will delay a TC. This is going to be rough for Vinchester over time. He's going to have 2 TCs here and he can't transport out. It would be smart to transport a scout, transport villagers. But if you look at the Vil difference, you will see that it's tied on 17. You never want to go up to that next TC if you can't keep them running. You can see Vinchester's one is idled here. But it's mainly because he queued up the 1 villager here. I don't know. It's hard to say. There is a dock now going up for Vinch as well. Because there's so much space in between the players, I think that any small mistakes can be forgiven for now. Wild Ducky says he missed the beginning. Well, Wild Ducky, lucky for you. Wild Ducky, lucky. Wild Ducky, lucky for you. Fire was like 40 minutes late, so you're catching game 1. I want to see a transport to the middle. However, players are not going to want to do that too early because they are going to want the economy. But there you go. Fire probably opting for the smarter choice. And just transporting that scout can really help out. And he doesn't know there's land here, of course. Fire, you're missing the land. I'm sure he'll see it, and then he will scout it out. Vinchester could go for fishing. Or, of course, he could go for scouting, like Fire is doing now. It looks like a villager might be coming out to this transport as well. And now that I see this, I have to agree with Fire's approach a little bit more. He's going with fishing ships, so he has them up earlier than Vinchester. And now he'll probably go for a TC on the closest gold he finds. That's what he's hoping for. He might just go for wood because the golds are on the left. And then there's 1 gold close to Vinchester over here. You can see Fire immediately going to the water's edge on Vinchester's side and scouting out. Now it's a castle age start. If Fire can maybe dock on this side and stop Vinchester from getting over, the game's over. I don't think he's going to be going for that. But still, with all the scouting Fire has, the scout already here, he will know exactly where Vinchester goes. And Vinchester is going for it now. I'm looking at the Vil counts. You will see Vinchester did climb ahead. But then again, fishing, which I did not add to the overlay yet. Fire has 4, and there's 2 for Vinchester, so it kind of evens out. We have a sub from Shinixi. Welcome to the T90 Elite, and Vinch, interestingly enough, is going for this monk right away. Welcome to the team, man. So I predict Fire to continue with a ton of docks and fishing ships. I mean, that's what I would do in this situation. He's actually going for a Fire ship to go over there, which is going to be difficult, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But the fishing ships are really important. There's so much fish around here. If he's able to get a dock up here, and continue to pump out fishing ships, that'll be so helpful for his economy. However, he needs to make sure he locks down the mainland. He may have just spotted Vinchester's scout here, and Vinchester does have villagers. He will have a monk. He will have that one relic. There you go. Both players recognizing what's going on. You can actually see, I believe... I'm checking the HP on the scouts. Yes, Fire is actually in the lead in that fight, and now he's way behind in that fight because the Vil's from Vinch. There might be some high aggression here. But there's no stone to castle drop or anything. Like, just this. So you can get one castle realistically up. And that's it, guys. So... Oh, no, there's another stone pile over here and another one over here. I lied. I'm lying to you. So maybe stone will be important for map control in this one. I want to go back to Fire's Fire ship. Now, Fire is going to kill a fishing ship here. This is really smart play. And we're going to see this a lot in Mega Random games in this tournament. However, the problem with this is that Fire ship has to go an awful long way. And if he's sending another one, it takes an awful long way to reinforce. So Vinchester should be able to create one and help out. However, he hasn't done that yet. Maybe he's just not... Oh, he doesn't have the wood for it? He does not have the wood for it. That means he will lose all his fishing ships. Okay, so this is really, really good play from Fire. He has his own monastery. Fire is, I guess, 4 fishing ships ahead. 5 fishing ships ahead now. And 2 Vils behind. Yeah, that's a big mistake from Vinch to not have any counter fires. The moment he saw that here, he should have had one out by the time Fire was here. But this is very awkward. When you play on Mega Random, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where the resources are located. And then, when you're playing with a random civilization as well, you're not used to maybe the meta game or the build orders that you need. The transport running away, this is actually important because Vinchester's going to want to use this, and transports are not cheap. So you can see Vinch is buying himself some time, doing a ring around the rosy, just so he can run back to his dock. Oh, that monk's going down. That is really smart play from Fire. He's scouting around, looking for the monk. Monks are going for relics. There is stone on the main island. Yes, there is stone on the main island. Both players have 2 piles. And then I believe there's 2 piles on... Like the starting islands, I should say, has 2 piles. And then there's like a main pile. Let's rephrase this, to be exact. 2 tiles of stone on the starting islands, and then 1 pile on each side for each player on the mainland. That's better. Vinch will chase Fire away here. A little bit of micro might be used. That villager might actually go down. Nope, gonna stay alive. But it looks to me like we're going to see a lot of booming. Ooh, what is this? Villager's running over here. I think Fire's gonna go for a TC right there. He spotted that gold. Well, pressure's on. You can see a villager just got converted, and a villager will go down for Fire. So 2 vills down for him. He will probably lose another one here as well. He could lose it. It looks like Vinchester is prioritizing saving his monk, but Look at that Vil. That Vil actually on 6 HP, finishing off the monk before he'll go down. But more Vils going down for fire. That's not bad for Vinch, who's now 8 Vils ahead. But still, I think the fishing is what's hurting him, because fire... Again, I don't have this on the overlay, but fire has had safe fish for a long time. And fire... Oh man, such smart play. We have a demo ship. Let's see, the T90 demo's in the chat. That's going to really work out there, and then he's going to have 3 fires. Fires all over the water. Now, one thing that's important is the gold position, because right now, Vinchester... He doesn't have any, and he does have a ton of stone, so he might go for a castle. But this gold is important to Vinchester. He needs it. He doesn't have any other gold. He also knows fire is here, so... I believe he does. Yes, he should assume so anyway at this level. So... He's pressuring over here with a lot of monks and mangonels. He's kind of going for a castle age siege and monk push. But if he goes for a castle, that would be devastating to get some map control. And you know what? He's going to put it up here instead. So we have a stable just going up for fire, 2 stables, 3 stables for fire. Is it going to be in time? There's 4 monks here from Vinchester, 2 mangonels. Villagers are on their way. Oh man. You can see Vil's going down left and right from both players. I'm not sure why Vinchester's using these villagers on the outpost though. He could use them on the castle. I want to see what fire can see. What is fire doing? Okay, he's building a town center here. He's just trying to secure the map with TCs, but the castle could be devastating. Light cav has been researched. Camels are coming out as well. So it looks like fire was expecting this. Conversions are so important. We saw Vinch using conversions versus Viper, but it was never enough for him. I heard 1 conversion. The castle is the most important thing here, and I think, for now, this will be great for Vinchester. There's a lot of Vils here for fire, and all of these buildings will go down as well once the castle goes up. Vinchester can then push in underneath his castle. Fire is getting close to clicking up to the Imperial Age with his resources, but unfortunately for him, he will lose this right side at this rate. Fire needs to hold on. He's building a castle here, which is downhill. He is desperate at this point in time, but he's still going with light cav. Vinchester with a really smart play with that castle, and his resources aren't looking too bad either. This has escalated quickly. Siege workshop over here from Vinch, so he saw the TCs. He's going to go for a mangonel. Yeah, I like it because there's no military here from fire to stop him from doing that, and then an outpost now from Vinch here to see what he's doing in this area. Vinch is going for full map control. He's recognizing the layout of the map, and the layout of the map shows there's not much gold or stone. And as the villagers climb, you will notice that the mainland, or the starting island, is running thin with resources, so this is all that matters. This is smart for fire though. He should be able to be safe for now. The question is, what will fire do in the Imperial Age, because he's on his way up? His resources aren't looking bad. He is Saracens. You can see he's fighting this mangonel with a villager. He found this. But as Saracens, he can actually use his market to get gold if he does lose it. But he does have 2 gold piles. This one and the one on the right side. That's a good pick-off for fire, though. Vinchester needs to be careful. He's on his way to Imp, but because he put that castle in the middle, this gold, his only gold, is exposed. And it looks like Pikeman is going to be the choice from fire, which I find very interesting. But then again, without a lot of gold, players may go into Hussar, and maybe that's what fire is thinking. Of course, he's seen a lot of scouts so far, but really not much else from Vinchester except some monks. Water control could be really important. Looks like Vinchester's kind of pushing back now. Players have to do an awful lot now, guys. Like, they have to transport from their starting island to the mainland. You have to focus on the left and the right, especially fire. His bases are essentially split, which could be really bad. But the way I see it right now, it looks like Vinchester is in the lead with map control in the middle, but fire is in the lead with military and technology. He's actually behind with villagers now. But again, the fishing ships might be what's really helping him. But fire is going to hit the Imperial Age first. He will be going pikemen, and as far as I know, Vinchester does not know that. Yeah, he does not know that, so he's not expecting that choice. And it looks like Vinchester is going for ranges, so he may go into Arbalest or skirmishers. Oh! A castle here from Fire, and there's mangonels from Vinchester! This is huge! All the villagers can be in range. I don't think this castle will go up. I do not think it'll go up. Fire has no military over here. No military whatsoever. And we could even see Vinchester send out the skirmishers with the crossbows and try and stop this. Now he's going to be desperately getting over here to stop this because that's his gold. Well, the villagers are building the castle. The mangonels are firing on the castle. More villagers are coming out. Is Vinchester paying attention? His monks could actually help out here. Vinch might be focusing elsewhere. Fire is probably playing this smart because he's pushing in over here and distracting Vinchester. He does have 2 trebuchets and he's going after the castle now. That's a lot of pikemen and a lot of upgrades on the pikemen as well. I don't know if Vinchester has the military, but all the villagers got cleaned out at the same time. Unbelievable. Now the Mangonel Micro is needed 1 for 1 here. That castle will not go up for now, but this castle could go down. So Fire is pushing on the right, trying to hold the left. He had like 15-20 villagers here. Now he only has 3. It was a good distraction from Fire, but Vince should be wising up now, and he is wising up. I want to see what percent this is at, because this is close. Oh, there we go. It's now up. Like, it's half down if you look at the HP, but it is up. And that's bad for Vince, because he just lost his. And Fire has done the classic, give the other player map control, let him waste resources on that map control while I boom up, and then push in at the crucial stage and take the map control. There's no word for that, like there's no name for that strategy, but that's basically what Fire has done here, and we see it a lot. And now Fire is pushing in. That castle should go up, and Vinchester is going to struggle, I think, because Vinchester needs a treb to take this castle out. And he's just now building a castle, and Fire could make his own treb now to start firing upon that. So Fire instantly gaining an advantage. He has this gold, this stone, this gold, and no gold for Vinchester. And this was the important area. This is exactly what I talked about. I thought Vinchester was going to put a castle up there. In fact, it may have been smarter to put it here because he would have maybe pushed to this one. But instead, he went for this location, which didn't have anything except wood. Can Vinchester pull it back now? I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of selling from the market, which he just placed. Because selling's going to be huge for him without gold. Now Fire needs to send in his trebs, in my opinion. There we go. There's the sales from Vinchester. The sales are high in Vinchester's town. The economy is flowing. And this is good for Vinch. I'm surprised Fire didn't make his own treb. If Vinch can take out this castle with Arbalest, he can counter the Mamelukes, and with enough of them, that Mangonel as well. Vinch could get that gold back, guys. Light Cav is coming in for Vinch, so he's gonna go Light Cav against the skirmishers that Fire has created. You can see it's very messy. You can see fire ships over here attacking the TC of Fire. This is not a pretty game, but that castle's now down, and Vinchester surprisingly pushing back in against Tyrant Fire. We so often forget that Fire is one of the best players in the world, but I think a lot of people have forgotten just how good Vinchester is. As Vinchester's trying to push in here, this is open. There's a lot of villagers here. That Mangonel could bother him, but no, Fire's not paying attention. The Mangonel's now down. Fire's probably focusing on this side as he's pushing in. There's a bombard cannon here now as well. That'd be a huge loss for Fire, and he's lost it. And you'll notice that Vinchester did convert a Mameluke. And he killed 2 of Fire's. So Fire could lose this gold now. You can see Vinchester has his gold back. What a great first game. Worth the wait. The trebs will probably go immediately on this TC. This TC is isolated. Like nothing else. This is just bad. These villagers need to find a transport ship and run to the other side of town where it is much safer. But Fire consistently pushing in on the right side, and he also will have a hill, so Vinchester's gonna have to get ready for that. I think that Fire's gonna have to delete a hole in his wall and run away if he doesn't want to lose all these villagers. He does have a vill lead, but I mean, doesn't want to lose these vills. Maybe he's hoping the Bombard Cannon can help him, but Vinch has probably the most exciting micro in the game. Top 3 at least. I mean, the thing is, Viper, he's going to be mentioned in that conversation, but I really like Vinchester because he over micros like crazy. All those villagers being sacrificed just because of this. Fire pushing it on the right. He doesn't have a left side of town anymore. It's been given up. Been sold off. Micro isn't really important for Vinchester now. It's just unit composition. I really thought Fire should have deleted this and tried to flee, or at least use the transports, but he just let the vills die. Fire's in a great position here, though. Skirmishers and hand cannons and light cav. So they're playing counters, and you'll see similar army composition from Vinchester. He actually has more units. However, he has not gone hand cannons, he's gone arbalest. Now, this castle's on its way up. Vinchester's gonna have to make a decision here. He's probably just now seeing the castle, so he's actually committed in on this. The Maginot with the big shot! Vinchester, I was just talking about your micro. He actually took the Maginot down, but look how many units went down there. Vinch is running in way too close with the Trebuchet, and the Trebuchet is on 6 HP. But it looks like Fire lost his Trebuchet. This Trebuchet is still alive for Vinch, and that castle has been stopped at 98%, but it will go up now. So the spam is real. This is messy for Vinchester. I don't understand this decision. His castle goes up there, but it's just so messy. Like, he has his army underneath Fire's castle. Fire has his army safe. Vinchester, like, even his repair villager is going to be sitting underneath Fire's castle. Fire has his Trebuchet back here. This fight could end the game, guys. It was important for Vinch that he picked off that Treb, because then he'd be down in this Treb war, but... well, down even more in the Treb war, because he is down in the Treb war right now. But look at the military count. You can see it's so close, 41 to 36. It's all about army composition. I think that Ram's going to be important for Fire once he gets it in front of these ranged units. You can see the light cab going in. There's actually another Treb back there from Vinch. He needs to repair it, though. He's sending all the villagers to repair it. Can he do it? I think he will do it. But Vinch will probably lose his castle. The question is, will Fire lose his castle? Will Fire win this fight? The cap trams are in front now. And honestly, that could be the game-changing decision. You see these units, when they patrol, they go after the Rams. The Rams will go after the Trebuchets if the light cap don't finish off the Trebuchets. It's not looking great for Vinch. This is good for Vinch, but this is not good for Vinch. No hill, bad for Vinch. Losing the army, bad for Vinch. He needs to pull back, needs to maybe hold to this hill and try and win a fight. But he has to recognize as well that Fire has 2 Trebs, capped Rams, and he's looking to push in now. Well, both Trebs just went down, and I don't know why Vinch didn't go back. Messy, messy stuff. I honestly think Fire has a huge advantage now. Look at the score difference. Look at the army comp. Capped Rams. Game deciding. But that's a lot of light cap from Vinch. We're going to need to see more of that from Fire. Meanwhile, over here, I want to take a quick glance. I can't seem to get my words out. I need a drink of water, but Fire's doing a good job. I mean, he's a lot of military buildings. However, you will notice, Vinchester did clear out a lot of the army on the front. Cleared out the capped Rams. I think the Arbalests are helping him a lot with clearing out the light calf. It's just the Trebs that are the problem. But right now, Vinchester has kind of fallen back, like I said. There's a siege workshop now from Fire. And I'm going to check Vinchester's resources. Well, he has more gold. Does Fire have gold over here? Is he out of the gold? He is out of the gold. Okay. Interesting. Hussar just came in for Fire, which is a good upgrade when you have no gold. You want to get that upgrade in last minute. Squake with the sub. As the fight gets more intense, I actually think with Vinchester having the extra gold spots, Vinchester could pull himself back into this one. Such a big engagement. Hussar's coming in for Vinch, but he doesn't want to fight it before Hussar. Also, it's so awkward because of this wood line here. Squake, welcome to the T90 Elite. Thanks for the support, but man, and also this hill, it's like right when the Hussars run down to the bottom of this hill, they are receiving extra damage. And ooh, Trebuchet's actually over here from Fire right now, going after the TC, and the Hussars splitting up. Fire's gonna try and snag that relic, I bet. He has a monk right there if he wants to do that. Raiding is the name of the game with Hussars, but I still think the Hussars need to be in front of it to counter the elite skirms. And the Rams. There's just so much going on. Oh man, that's a good piece of raiding from Fire though. Look at the build difference. You'll see that Vinch is at 107 now, but he will lose more. And he is already behind Fire. But who will win this engagement? I think more Hussars is important. And I actually think that Vinchester... Oh, it's so close. Just so close. Blast Furnace even coming in at the same time. Unbelievable. Keep in mind that Fire does have a hill for his skirmishers. I still think Vinchester has a small advantage in this fight with the Hussar production. I could be wrong, but I really think he does. How do you call this one, though? Now Fire's in the lead with the Hussar production. And, you know what? That was a really good moment for him, because he did pick off a couple Arbaleths. With more skirmishers behind as well. Oh man, Vinchester sent his whole army forward. I was gonna say, with more units behind for Fire, it's gonna be helpful either way. The Treb's deploying now. Fire attacking Vinch's starting island. Well, Fire is using a fire ship here on the starting island. Maganel not gonna help out much with Hussars and skirmishers with 8 range. I can't help but think that Vinchester needs to add in more ranged units behind. He's still fighting uphill a majority of the time. He needs to do more. Ooh, that bombard cannon's expensive from Fire, but man, it can help. I like the fact that Trebs are being used from both players, though. That Treb has just gone down from Vinch. He's not going to have much use left. Oh man, a Maganel shot. It is uphill, but it is useful. More useful than I thought it would be. But I'm looking at the numbers from Vinchester. It just looks like Vinchester is losing ground time and time again. And if you look at the military difference, for the first time, Fire has double what Vinchester has. And for the first time, Fire is thinking about going to the bottom of this hill with his skirmishers in a siege as well. And there's the GG. Great first game. Great first game. That was exciting. Fire, without gold, won the first game. Vinchester, his mistake, in my opinion, was castling this side. Because he castled this side, he didn't do a lot with it, and he got pushed back. He failed to recognize what Fire was doing. He failed to recognize Fire had a better boom going for him. I think Vinch should have boomed up, just put a castle up on these golds, kept Fire off of this, and gone from there. This hill proved to be really important. There's so many small things that we could touch on, but I think that that was the main deciding factor. Once Vinchester lost this area, which wasn't really important, there was no gold here or anything, he lost that castle, then he never pushed back. And credit to Fire for that push. Let's look at the achievements before we get into game 2. You can see it was very close. You can see the eco stats as well. Technology. Society. And that does tell us that Fire had a stronger economy pretty much all game. And with the fishing ships as well, that was pretty telling. But game 2 will be starting. We have 900 people here. 8 subs are